And those are the starting lineups. Lots of interesting matchups tonight. Stick around. We'll be right back with more.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hey, folks, glad to have you with us tonight. We got the Philadelphia 76ers facing off against the Miami Heat. For Miami, at 10th in the East, they haven't made significant headway from where they ended last season. Boy, how they'd love to pull themselves up that conference ladder a few spots. Looking back, Kenny, Shea refused to play his senior year of college. Now on a team that employs his former college coach, Ames. But it seems like they've put the past behind them.
Well, when you get to this level, you have to be a professional. I mean, you just can't just be wickily-pickly.
Uh-huh, why?
What? Yeah, that's a word I got from you.
Well, I don't know how to spell that.
Wickily-pickly?
What's that word you used to use?
I have no idea what wickily-pickly.
Anyway,
give me the word.
Anyway, Shea and Ames are sharp guys.
Wickily?
No surprise they put this behind them. Can't get hung up on what happened.
You know what he's talking about?
No.
You have any clue?
Dilly-dilly?
No. Dally-dally?
Nilly-willy?
Thanks for tuning in to the NBA on 2K Sports. It's Wednesday, hump day, and we're ready to bring you all the action. Kevin Harlan here, and we've got a quick moment now to take a look at the long-term rebounding numbers over several seasons for Adebayo.
He's really made that a focus of his game these past few years, and it's paid big-time dividends for him. He's become a much better rebounder, and it's increased his value.
We are nearly ready for the tip-off, but first, let's hear from our very own David Aldridge. DA, it's all yours.
Sixers coach Brett Brown helped build this team from ground zero.
He's done a terrific job. Thanks, David. So the opening lineup for the Heat, they've got Jones. Bam Adebayo is out there with Jay Crowder. And there's Iguodala. And it's Nunn in at the point. And for the 76ers, in the backcourt, Simmons and Richardson. Jay out there with Tobias Harris. And it's Embiid in at the 5 down low. Here we are in mid-season, and some teams have already exceeded early expectations, starting to show that they are the real deal.
Yeah, no fluke, and that's what we call validation. Again, you have such a long season early on. The schedule can work in your favor, but as we get to this point in the season, Kevin, teams are starting to show you who they really are, answering doubters, and it's got to be extremely satisfying when you prove folks wrong.
Absolutely. Crowder finds Jones. It's up and it's off the mark. He's 0 for 1. Here's Simmons. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game.
You know, what touch from the Australian native, Ben Simmons. I mean, he's so good at staying under control, even when facing physical contact.
Here's Nunn. Guarded by Simmons. Nunn can't get it to fall. Here's Philadelphia. James, the pass to Embiid. Floats it up for James. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
Well, Simmons has what I call see-ahead vision. I mean, he sees a play ahead, and he's a great passer.
Iguodala against Richardson. Crowder, James with some nice D.
That's the third straight miss to start this game, and they're still looking for their first basket.
Here's Simmons. Another shot, and it's good on the layup. Simmons got his second basket of the night.
Boy, that's a great effort from Simmons, guys. He might have point guard skills, and he's got plenty of those, but he can bang inside, too.
Here's Nunn, guarded by Harris, out of bounds. Philadelphia takes possession. And as we're reaching the end of the calendar year, here's a great chance to delve into the updated power rankings. You take a look at the Bucks. They're moving on up, 4th spot in the rankings this time around.
And seeing where the 76ers are, they've used the doubters as fuel for this season's strong showing. Night after night, each guy plays with that proverbial chip on his shoulder.
Simmons passes to James. And the dunk by James.
Yeah, I mean, maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that one.
And we know he's capable of those memorable ones.
Hey, they've got a nice, comfortable lead here, fellas. Might as well Keep it simple. Do it a plain, simple one-hander, just like pound cake.
I would agree. Here's Adebayo. And Embiid with the block.
Yeah, good energy and awareness that time by Embiid to deny that shot.
Jones, the pass to Crowder.
Yeah, slow start right now. 5 straight misses to get this one going.
The drive by James and the dunk by James.
Displaying intensity right off the opening tip, especially on the offensive end.
Tell you what, forget about easing into the game. They came out with guns blazing.
And Miami calls their first time out of the game. Their last meeting was in Philadelphia, where they were unable to fight off the 76ers.
And they'll want to show that they're a much better team than they demonstrated last time out against these guys. At the very least, avoid another blowout.
And it really was the turnovers that fueled the blowout. I mean, a lot of questionable, poor decisions by them with the ball. And when that happens, you can get blasted.
5 to shoot. Here's Iguodala. Good. Nice job down low.
You just can't give Iguodala these looks. He's too experienced and crafty down low.
Pass to James. And James throws it down.
Really seizing the momentum of this game, but doing it with a methodical approach.
And, you know, that involves pounding it inside, getting as many points as you can right at the rim. That demoralizes a team.
Down low. Here's Crowder. And James pulls it down. James has got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. To the inside. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
You know, guys, it's crazy to think that Joel Embiid once considered quitting the game. I mean, his first practice at Kansas, a senior dunked on him so hard he went to the coach and said, maybe I should get out of this stuff. Luckily, the coach talked him down, and now we see one of the best in the league.
They double him with Simmons. In the corner, Iguodala with it. Takes the 13-footer, and James pulls it down.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
Here's Richardson, and it's Richardson slamming it down.
Their play on both ends has been superb. We'll see if they can maintain the momentum.
And, you know, nothing like getting an opponent on the ropes early. You love that if you're on that side of the scoreboard, and they are landing some haymakers now.
And some real adversity for Joel Embiid after leaving Kansas. Foot injuries costing him the first 2 years spark of his career. And then, back in Cameroon, the tragic passing of his beloved brother.
Yeah, that's a hard road to hoe, and adversity oftentimes, while painful, can steal us for the promised land or positive outcomes. And, you know, Embiid really driven by his goal to inspire others in Africa to make a better life, and that drove him to be where he is now.
To the middle, here's Simmons, and Simmons slams it in.
And this offense is in a perfect rhythm, and you can see how they're finishing their plays.
Boy, this is borderline ridiculous. I mean, every single attempt finding the bottom of the bucket.
Harris inside the line. Yes, it's James picking up the assist.
That's their 3rd straight make off an assist.
Nunn passes to Adebayo. Some nice ball movement here by the Heat. Miami no good on that time either. The 76ers leading by 17. To the paint. Here's James. It's over Crowder, and that one's good. James has got 12 in the game.
Moving it around, 8 of their last 10 coming off assists.
And Greg, you know nothing makes a coach happier than selflessness on the basketball court.
It's deflected. And that's going to be too many steps. Gets the whistle on the travel. Now a timeout called by Miami.
And so much for the Sixers is predicated on Joel Embiid's health. Do they need to restrict his minutes in the regular season to keep him ready for that playoff run?
Well, you know, we've had all of this conversation about load management and managing the minutes of your key players. And Embiid, with his injury history would certainly be a candidate for that. We also saw what the Raptors did last season with Kawhi Leonard, so maybe the Sixers take a page out of the Raptors book in that regard.
And so here is Miami, 19-point game. Pass to Adebayo. It's Jones on the wing, guarded by Harris. Here's Crowder. Easy jumper from very short distance. Crowder's got his second bucket.
Gets one to fall, but only his second make in the first 7 attempts.
Richardson outside. On the wing, James. Back to Richardson. Inside, Crowder with the steal. Here's Nunn, guarded by Harris. With the floater, Nunn can't get it to fall.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be, because he is so strong in the paint.
And it's James missing.
And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession.
And James throws it down.
Well, if you don't take care of the ball, fellas, that's what can happen.
Absolutely, Greg. That makes the turnover even more painful.
What? You mean the throwdown at the end? I'll tell you what, fellas. I mean, the highlight shows are going to pain them even more. You know, he's been off tonight, off his game. At this point, he might want to focus on creating for others.
To the inside, and James throws it down.
And Simmons is just a complete package, a player that can really drop dimes to his teammates.
The Heat trail by 21. And the wide open shot from Crowder, off target with his three.
Well, it isn't for a lack of effort when it comes to getting up the three-pointers, but not much to show for it. He's going to lose the green light here very early in this game if this keeps up. And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
10 straight points off assists. That's very impressive, and it also makes the game easy and fun to watch.
James against Crowder. Lets it fly. Rejected by Crowder. The feed to Iguodala. Rebound by the 76ers.
And fought hard to make his way to the rim, but give the D credit. Did just enough to force him to flank out. Attacking in transition, the most consistent way to generate easy looks.
Yep, exactly. And if there's any opportunity for early offense, you've got to push it and push it every time.
Here's Nunn, and it's in there.
And that's an example of playing big, adapting to the situation.
And sometimes that's the best policy when you're going up against a big guy. Take it to the 10, right at him, get to the rack.
Stolen. And stolen by Richardson. And here we go. Fast break. James has got it. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. All right, well, a look at how the points have been generated so far. Scoring breakdown for Philadelphia.
Guys, right from the start, it's been apparent they're determined to establish a presence in the paint.
The other thing that's helped them early tonight are the points they've been able to convert off turnovers.
Catching up on the changes. We've got Jay. Richardson is out there with Robinson. Then there's Embiid, and it's Harris in at the 3 spot. That's the group on the floor for Philadelphia. And he hits it and gets hacked on the play. A 3-point possibility if he can convert the free throw.
Embiid is unstoppable, just too strong for the defense, no matter what they throw at him.
He's gone 2 for 2 at the line so far.
And he buried a bunch of shots from the stripe in that last game.
And one look at the box score will confirm that. Yeah, guys, I mean, he's been a very steady hand for them when it comes to his free throw shooting.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Jay, in that last matchup against the Nets, played superb basketball. He added 37 points, and that was just the start of it. He wound up with a triple-double in what was quite a display for him. A very solid stat line for him in what was a terrific outing. You know he wants to keep the momentum going, Kevin.
Thank you, David. You're right. He was a one-man wrecking crew in that one.
Yeah, he was not going to let them lose that game. We'll see if he comes in with that same attitude tonight.
Yeah, you know, every night's different. They may try to double him, might force him to adjust, or force him to make plays with the pass instead. We'll see.
Jones looking for an opening. Passes it to Robinson. 6 on the shot clock from downtown. And James pulls it down. James has got double-digit rebounds now in the game.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
Yeah, rebounding has been a big key in this one, Greg. They've asserted their will and have taken control on the glass. Great job of crashing the offensive glass. He stayed with it. That's hard-nosed, tough basketball.
76ers have gone 3 of 7 shooting the ball here in the second quarter. To the paint, here's Harris. Great pass to set up the lay-in. Harris has got his second basket of the game.
You know, after the Sixers were knocked out in the second round for the second straight year, there was some speculation, and I think unmerited, whether Brett Brown might be let go as head coach. The players voiced their support and made the decision easier to bring him back, and I think it was the right one. He's done a fantastic job as the leader of the Sixers.
James against Crowder. And James shot, and Embiid lays it in. Embiid's got 6.
Boy, proving to be a handful once again, guys. Embiid, so tough to keep off the glass because of his agility and size.
And Coach Brown, Clark, captained the ship through some real rough times in the beginning.
And, you know, Kevin, I think for that reason and the job he's done here recently, he's earned the right to see this thing through. It's a result-oriented profession. I know that, and I understand it. But this is a team built to contend, and that's the expectation. And I'd like to see Brett Brown have a chance to bring it to full fruition.
And Embiid throws it down.
He's close to the rim. The attitude that Embiid brings is, I'm dunking this thing.
And Miami shooting 38% in the second quarter. Defensively, they look a little bit confused. Robinson kicks to Iguodala. The pass to Crowder. Down low, Robinson. He can't get that one. Great D that time from James. Pass to Embiid. It's stolen by Adebayo. Here's Iguodala, and he uses the glass on the layup.
An absolute terror in transition. Even though Iguodala is a little older, he still possesses that impressive speed.
Crowder against James. Sinks that one from the post. James has got 24.
When you allow good scorers to get uncontested shots at the rim, no wonder you're losing.
You know, he should be getting extra attention from the defense, not less.
And the rejection by James. Looking at Philadelphia, they took the win in their last game against the Nets. Embiid, the pass to James. And the dunk by James.
You know, for a big guy, Joel Embiid's floor awareness is pretty impressive. He does a pretty good job of finding open guys.
Outside Crowder. Iguodala, the pass to Crowder. That's tipped and stolen by James. And now the 76ers on the break. Kept alive. Embiid dishes to James. Lays it up and banks it in. James has got 6 here in this quarter.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
Really a prime example of the difference in how these teams have operated offensively. Much more individual play at the other end.
Jones kicks to Crowder. Back to Jones. And the shot is good.
And not a great start for him in the first, but he's quickly starting to turn it around.
Philadelphia shooting it as well as you're going to see. 67%. Floats it up for James.
And that lob came from a
Talk about a long-distance connection.
I want to talk about those incredibly soft suction cup hands there, not only to make the catch, to lay it in, too.
Right side Robinson. At 3 off the mark.
The shooting numbers just aren't there yet in the quarter.
Harris inside. He's against Crowder. Nice shot by James.
As hot as he's been this quarter, the game plan is simple, folks. Get him the ball and get out of the way. They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
And yes, it's good. And Philadelphia has possession. He kicks to Embiid. Some nice ball movement here by the 76ers. He lobs it up. Tries to save it, and it goes out of bounds. That one off Robinson. And let's check out a breakdown. Looking at some stats for Harris.
And the biggest takeaway when you look at his numbers is how good his three-point shooting has been the past 5 games. He's finding the open spots on the perimeter, and when he's getting good looks, boy, he is not missed.
Man, I like the aggressiveness of Iguodala. I mean, remarkable at taking it all the way to the rack.
With Andre Iguodala, he doesn't give you 20 points tonight like he once did, Greg, but he still shows up when you need him.
Iggy can still hit the switch, so to speak, and go back to his all-star level of play for stretches. I mean, the numbers don't jump out at you, but he is so valuable during big games, particularly in the postseason.
Free throw drops for James. All right, Clark, game is on the line. 1 free throw to make to win a big game. Who is up there for you?
I'd go with your colleague and mine.
Oh, yeah.
But since he's no longer in uniform today, I will go with Steph Curry and Malcolm Brogdon.
Great name. Here's what Philadelphia's going with right now. Korkmaz, he's checked in for Glenn Robinson III, and Simmons subbed in for Richardson. We've got 1:48 left in the first half of the game. James, no good.
And the activity he shows around the rim is why he is such a respected defender.
And you know what? He's not going to give up an easy finish at the rim. I mean, that's just against his constitution.
And the dunk by James.
Flying high and throwing it down with the one-hander.
One of his favorite moves right there, guys.
Does it as well as anybody, fellas. Tremendous skill while in the air.
Three-pointer, Crowder, and Philadelphia grabs the miss. Simmons got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight.
He hit 1 3 in the first, but the well has been totally dry for him in the second.
Not settling for the layup. Sometimes you got to go strong, and Harris gets the chance to stuff it there. He didn't let it slip by him.
Here's none. Guarded by Simmons. The kick out to Crowder. Fires the 3. Knocks down the 3 ball. Crowder's got 5 points now in the quarter.
Just a little confusion among the D as to who was supposed to be on it.
James finds Harris. Back to James. The shot, no good. Good work defensively by Crowder. Looking at Miami, they took their win in their last game against Memphis.
Yeah, it was all hands on deck. Helps to get points off the bench when you're on the road.
Absolutely, especially on the road when you need those guys off the bench to up the ante.
Here's James, and the dunk by James.
Yeah, he's shown terrific control of the pace and the rhythm of this offense.
You know, numbers don't always tell the story, guys, but his assist totals do paint the picture here. I mean, he's got everybody involved.
That's a 2 from Crowder, and no good. And so it's Philadelphia sitting pretty as the quarter comes to a close. And there wasn't too much drama in the first half, but maybe things will tighten up here in the second. It's been a clinic out there by James.
Well, with a double-double in hand through 2 quarters, you can just imagine what his stat line will look like at the end of this one.
Yeah, he's got that locked-in look in his eyes tonight, and he's not going to start taking it easy. I think he's going to be going hard until that final whistle blows.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for the second half of basketball. On the court for the Heat, they've got Adebayo. Jones is out there with Jay Crowder. Then there's Iguodala. And it's Nunn in at the point.
Great instincts from him to get a hand on that pass and tip it out.
And, you know, even though they didn't come up with the steal, that's still a nice defensive play.
Richardson kicks to James. Popped up there for Embiid.
That's serving it up on the platter there. What a nice pass. A high percentage look was the result.
And Miami shooting a meager 37% for the game. Here's Nunn. Guarded by Simmons. Three-pointer, Crowder. It's hauled in by the 76ers. Embiid's got double-digit rebounds now in the game. The drive by James. Good defense by Iguodala. And so it's Iguodala. He'll bring it up for the Miami Heat. The three-pointer is right on target. Nunn's got 9.
Boy, the unselfishness of Iguodala is really admirable. A forward with excellent vision. He has a feel for when one of his guys is open.
The shot's good. 40 points for Jay.
Oh, it's scary because he's just been a matchup nightmare in this game. He's eaten up anybody they've thrown at him.
In the corner, Crowder with it. The tray. Simmons pulls it in. Simmons got 5 rebounds tonight. Here's James, and James throws it down hard.
He is a highlight reel unto himself, guys.
That could be a contender for the dunk of the year, I think.
Without question, a crowd pleaser to the 10th degree.
Here's Crowder, and that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. And out of Marquette, Jay Crowder, a sturdy two-way wing player.
A great system player and glue guy. He had his best years with the Celtics. On the final year of this contract, a great value considering what he brings to the table.
To the middle. And Harris gets it to go on the assist from Simmons. That's now 8 points for Tobias Harris. Miami's gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. Here's Nunn. He's got 9. Crowder from outside. Miami no good on that time either.
And there have been some terrible shot choices here, Kev. That's not a good look at all.
Jones finds Crowder. And blocked the ball with his palm. What a defensive play. James against Adebayo. Popped up there for Embiid. That one's not going to go.
And that was lining up to be a huge alley-oop, but they just couldn't quite connect.
And, you know, guys, always a tough catch on the lob. Placement and timing have to be close to perfect.
Well, all good things must come to an end. Iguodala was shipped out from the Warriors last year to clear room for D'Angelo Russell. Traded to the Grizzlies to make room for the Warriors in the Russell deal. Ultimately, I think we'll have a great legacy for his time with Golden State.
Kelly Olynyk's checked in for Jay Crowder.
And we're seeing some great ball movement out of this group, guys.
Here's Nunn. Guarded by Simmons. Adebayo. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. That one on Embiid. And Bam Adebayo. He just plays with so much energy when he's on the floor.
Boy, he is ferocious on both ends of the floor. Great energy player who can finish in the paint with the best of them. Very quick on his feet and can cover a lot of ground for a player his size.
And the 76ers making a change here. Burks is checked in. Oh, and there's the one-handed jam.
Nothing soft about the putback there.
And why chance it, right? Take the dunk if you've got it.
Well, you know, if nobody's going to put a body on him, then that's going to be the result.
Nice shot by James. James has got 8 here in the quarter.
Just no resistance on the inside. That's their 5th consecutive make in the paint.
And, Greg, those looks they're allowing are almost automatic.
Iguodala deciding where to go with it. Pass to Nunn. 6 to shoot. Over Simmons. Nunn, that's good. Nunn's got 13 points.
Tell you what, guys, this has clearly been his half. I mean, he's getting to his spots, shooting the ball with confidence. Excellent turnaround for him.
It's tipped. And here comes the break. And that comes off the assist by Jones. Nunn's got 9 points here in the second half. Inside, here's Embiid. That's another one for him. His 5th in just 7 shots.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
You know, the defense, Greg, has really been kept off balance because of the outstanding passes. 4 straight field goals have been made off an assist.
All the time in the world to get that one off.
All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Odie.
Well, Kevin, for the last 5 years, the Golden State Warriors have been the colossus that stood over the NBA. There were thoughts that most teams were not willing to do things to be competitive, knowing that they could not beat the Splash Brothers, Draymond Green, and then Kevin Durant. But the Warriors lost to the Raptors in the finals last year, combined with the injuries to Durant and Klay Thompson, have opened things up. And for the first time in a long time, there are any number of teams in this league that believe it's their time.
Probably so. The West is strengthened. There's no doubt, D.A. Interesting matchups coming up for sure. Thank you. Nunn passes to Olynyk over James. Olynyk can't hit.
The shot's there for him, and he's got to take it. I don't care if he doesn't convert. That's a shot he has to continue to take.
Again, what an avalanche.
My goodness. 50 for the eight.
Yep, he is putting on a show. And a closer look here at the scoring breakdown for the 76ers.
Guys, their play close to the hoop has been great all game.
And you've always heard of guys being in a zone shooting, but you can be in a zone passing the basketball, and we've seen that tonight as well.
Here's what Miami's going with right now. Leonard, he's checked in for Adebayo. Hero comes in for Jones. Robinson is subbed in for Andre Iguodala. Kicks to Leonard. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Robinson dishes to Leonard. No good on the 3. The 76ers shooting an unreal 70% from the field, making a mockery of this defense. And Embiid gets it to go.
And now you see them starting to really work the ball inside.
They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Here's Nunn. They can't stop the run with that one. And here's James. He'll bring it up for the 76ers. Following this one, they get to host the Mavericks. They'll find themselves in the middle of this string of 3 straight at home.
In a tough league like the NBA, here's where Miami sits right now in the league ranking.
And looking again at those second chance points, they might not be the best in that area, but it is still, I think, to their advantage in terms of the outcome of some games.
Korkmaz checked in for Joel Embiid. James kicks to Korkmaz. Really left alone that time. Korkmaz has got 5.
Offensively, defensively, they are in total control.
And don't leave out the coaching staff here now. I mean, their game plan has been perfect.
Hero passes to Olynyk. With the teardrop, shots good by Hero. 6 points for him.
Challenging the bigger defender, cutting him down to size with that one.
Well, the size mismatch is no problem for this fella, guys. I mean, how much do you like seeing that aggressiveness from him?
Passes it to Burks. Back to James. And another one falls.
And he's been dominant here thus far.
Shouldering the offense, GA really taking it to the opposition. Miami's gotten 1 of 6 3-pointers to drop since coming out of the locker room at halftime. Burks with the double team. And there's the 3-second call, this one on the defense. The Heat shooting their 7th free throw attempt here.
And in terms of team numbers, the free throw percentage is right at 74.
And guys, you know what? That's made things hard for them in a lot of their games. I mean, that inability to convert their chances at the free throw line.
And the basket by Olynyk.
And really, the improvement as a finisher is noticeable for Kelly Olynyk.
James against Olynyk. James, the pass to Simmons. And we have an intentional foul there, G.A. Wish I could say why.
That one's pretty strange. I mean,
Mike Scott out there with Jay. Then it's Smith. And it's Thibault in at the small forward position. That's the group on the floor for Philadelphia. The shot by Adebayo, no good. For Philadelphia, they've gone only 6 of 14 from the field in the fourth. James dishes to Scott. The pass to Neto. Some nice ball movement here by the 76ers. And they double up James. Here's Hero. Covered by Smith. Hero passes to Adebayo. But they recover it. Here's Hero. Clock at 6. Pass to Leonard. Again, the miss by the Heat.
and that's really just not heads-up basketball. Don't try a fadeaway when nobody's guarding you.
James, the pass to Thibault. Smith with a wide open look. Hangs home the trifecta.
He can be a forgotten man in their offense sometimes, but the D still has to keep an eye on. 1:49
left in the fourth quarter of this one. Olynyk, and the dunk by Olynyk.
Yeah, he can surprise you around the rim. Olynyk has some lift.
James finds Scott. The shot misses. And the Heat going the other way now. Here's Hero. It's tipped, and he's able to get it back. Here's Adebayo. And another shot. Rebound by Smith.
Nothing seems to be going his way this quarter.
To me, it appears he's starting to lose his composure a little bit. We'll see if he can regroup and get back into a better rhythm.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for the 76ers.
The blocking really turned things into their favor this time.
Great timing, anticipation. They got the blocks, and that definitely changed the momentum of this game.
And so looking at their number, this will be win number 22 on the year.
And continued dominance against this team, winning both of their matchups this season.
And, you know, against a conference opponent, Greg, who you're going to see 4 times total on the season, a 2-0 advantage is pretty healthy.
And, you know, looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for Jay.
Well, I thought he did a little bit of everything out there tonight, Kevin. I mean, notching the triple-double in style. He was a difference maker.
Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. And so he's picked up his final foul. And he will sit for the rest of this game.
At the line for your 76ers, Ben Simmons. At the line number 2.
First one falls for him.
You know, after missing his first year out of college due to injury, Ben Simmons ended up winning Rookie of the Year in 2018, proving the wait was worth it.
Here's none. So it's Philadelphia winning this one easy. We have 2 teams tonight. One that's in total control. The other just switching transfers that they put number 5.
I mean, the energy here is just so tremendous. Fans involved from the get-go, and once they started to really pour it on, it was fun to see that rhythm and flow from their perspective.
And that about wraps it up for Greg Anthony.
Jay, so like an old college teammate of mine, he's in the crowd tonight. I told him to come to the locker room to talk to you and a couple of the guys tonight.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll holler. First time we talk to the fans, right?
All right, man. See you Sunday.
All right, cool.
say about the...
What's up, Levi?
Hey, got something for you.
Cool. Thanks, man.
The NBA 2K21 demo is out now, and in this episode, we're jumping right in.
Plus, we look back at our best 2K TV moments of 2K20. And first looks at what's coming up in my team for 2K21. Welcome to the special edition.
DeMar DeRozan is the latest star to get bitten by the injury bug, and it's
Big game tonight. Ready?
2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA. It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
In a few moments, we'll be sending you out to Philadelphia.
The Dallas Mavericks arriving at the building earlier today. And the game arrival, sponsored by Express. Dress like a pro. What a fantastic look at the skyscrapers that make up the skyline here in the Cradle of Liberty. We're coming to you from Philadelphia. Now let's take a moment to check out our race for Rookie of the Year. Here are some of the top young talents in the game who will be recognized as the best of the best. You look at James. Well, he's shown he's a force as we move along in the meat of the season, sitting pretty at that #1 spot now, and it's his race to lose.
And this is just a special player. No question he should be favored for the Rookie of the Year award at this point.
I'll tell you, it's one of the brightest starts to a career that I can remember. He's certainly well positioned for that award.
Now, a look at Dallas's starting lineup. Kleba is the 4 with Porzingis in the middle. Doncic and Hardaway at the 2 and the 3. And it's Brunson in at the 1. And for Philadelphia, in the backcourt, Simmons and Richardson. Jay out there with Harris, and it's Embiid in at the 5 spot. So for the 76ers, their last game, a win against Miami. Doris, league-wide scoring is on the rise. Offensive basketball is really being pushed.
Really, Kevin, we are treated to 2 teams with elite shot-making, incredibly skilled basketball players from positions 1 through 5, bigs who can shoot it, guys who can put it on the deck. I mean, what more could we ask for, Kevin?
Now, here's Porzingis after Luka Doncic's miss. Porzingis kicks to Brunson. Just 5 on the clock. Wide open look. That one's rebounded by Embiid.
Boy, he'll usually knock it down if he's left that wide open. Just comes up empty.
Down low. Here's James. Gets it to go from 8 feet.
Always feels good getting that first one in the bank.
And will that get him rolling? Will it get his team rolling? This should be an interesting night.
Now here's Porzingis. Boy, he was something else against Boston. Pass to Kleba. Over in the corner, Doncic. Over Richardson. Almost, but it rolls out.
They are 0 for the game thus far. 0 of 4 here, still looking for their first make.
Back to James. Kicks it out to Richardson. Philadelphia moving the ball around. James misses.
It's all about the defense right there. Without that level of activity, he probably scores it.
Porzingis at the elbow. Good for the basket. Starting off 1 for 1 with that shot.
They needed that. Just 1 for 5 to start this ball game.
Here's James. Passes it to Richardson. Here in the first, just under 2.5 minutes played so far. Here's James. The shot, no good. Nice D from Porzingis. Doncic passes to Brunson. Good, and the assist goes to Doncic.
You know, there's an unselfishness to Luka Doncic, and a pretty pass right there.
Floats it up for James. And so it's Brunson with it. He brings it up for Dallas. Their last game, a win against Boston, looking to carry it into this one.
And guys, they walked into the arena with a certain kind of swagger, and we really saw it play out on the offensive end.
And what surprised me was how easy they made it look. It seemed like they got something out of every possession.
3 on 3, and the dunk by James.
Quick job of getting up the floor and creating early offense.
You don't give the defense any chance to set up. Sometimes you just love an easy look.
Now here's Porzingis, a dependable source of points for his team, averages just under 24 points a game.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
That boy, to have someone back there who can erase your mistakes, what a big-time asset defensively.
Really well done there. Just confident and composed, never in a hurry.
Doncic outside. And James picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. And here's Brunson. 17 points for him last game against Boston. Shot clock at 6. Dallas, no good that time either. Philadelphia leading by 3. Simmons on the wing. Shoots from 12. And the 76ers tack on 2 more.
I admire Simmons' ability inside. That's where he's an elite finisher.
And a chance here presented by Gatorade to see who's on the floor. All fueled up and ready to go for the start of the second quarter. And so in the game for the 76ers, Scott is out there with Jay. Then it's Robinson. Then there's Alec Burks. And it's Thibault in at the 2. And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, Jay in that last matchup against the... Heat got the job done. He scored 53 points, and that was just the start of it. He wound up with a triple-double in what was quite a display for him. His numbers were off the charts. He was unguardable, and he knew it, and he took advantage of it. Kevin, back to you.
Thanks, David. Yeah, it was a special night for him. The team really fed off his energy.
Yeah, the catalyst for that win, it was an effort that I'm sure he's hoping to replicate tonight.
Well, there's no doubt, Greg. He certainly looked like he was enjoying himself in that last game. He had his offense flowing.
And really credit their advantage on the backcourt. That's where the lead has been built, and that's why they are in control.
And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. And Doris, you played point guard. What do you like to see from that position?
Well, I'm going to go back to the Showtime Lakers, which was my first team that I adored when I was a kid watching the NBA. And the reality is this, Kevin, I love to see teams play in transition, get out in the open.
And here we go, coach's challenge on that goaltending call. Now, the coach didn't think the call was correct.
And with this type of goaltending review process, one thing to keep in mind is that the rule states, quote, in order to overturn the event as called on the floor, there must be clear and conclusive visual evidence that the call was incorrect.
And so, Greg, if via replay there is any level of ambiguity, it makes sense that the original ruling would stay. But in that event, the coach has used up his one and only coach's challenge for the game. So, as you can tell, a lot riding on when you choose to use it. And so the decision is in. NBA Replay Center has ruled, guys. The call stands on the goaltend.
And maybe the only downside is that you use up your one coach's challenge for the game. So if anything happens beyond this point, you might wish you had that back. Smart not to take any chances and give it another look on the replay. That's such a valuable safety net for the officials to have.
You know, couldn't agree more with this timeout. There are far too many turnovers to get any kind of offensive rhythm. You're just trying to mix things up here.
And a chance to take a look at some numbers for Harris.
And his three-point shooting has gotten a lot better over his last 10 games. He looks so much more comfortable from beyond. There's no doubt he's got the green light to let it fly whenever the shot's there for him.
He gets that one. James has got the lead up to 10 now for Philadelphia.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
Doncic passes to Kleba. Cauley Stein with it, defended by Scott. Wright looking around. Pass to Brunson. Shot clock reset for Dallas. Doncic gets the three-pointer to fall. Doncic has got 15.
Luka Doncic has superstar written all over him. He's cooking.
Floats it up for James. Hammers the alley-oop through.
Oh, phenomenal alley-oop slam there.
They are taking advantage of a team that looks lost out there. Mavericks trail by 9. They double him with James. Brunson finds Cauley Stein. And that one is off. Now the 76ers take it the other way. They come in fresh off a win against the Heat.
Yeah, and that one, their rebounding was the difference. Big disparity between the two teams.
That was a coach's dream, to get that kind of effort and intensity on the glass, and for it to pay those kinds of dividends, critical. This guy just can't find his rhythm, and you look up at the scoreboard, they absolutely need his productivity.
Throws it up high. Oh, and they get in the way of the alley-oop. Not to be. Good play defensively. Here's Doncic. The dish to Cauley Stein. Right outside. Got a piece of it. To the inside. And he takes that one up and powers it through.
Listen, we all know Luka Doncic can score, but equally impressive to me is his playmaking ability.
Robinson kicks to Burks. To the paint. And that goes out of bounds. Nice touch by Cauley Stein. And the upcoming schedule for the Mavericks. On Sunday, they'll take on Marc Gasol and the Toronto Raptors. And then on Thursday, they'll be matching up against DeMar DeRozan and the San Antonio Spurs.
And looking at that Lakers matchup, it's the second game of a back-to-back, and you know they're going to be feeling the effects of it. Playing that much basketball in that short amount of time really takes a toll.
Here's Cauley Stein, and it's Dallas with another.
Nice work inside by Cauley Stein. Great tools as a finisher.
And so it's Burks bringing it up now for the Philadelphia 76ers. 8-point game to the inside, and James throws it down.
He pulls off the Houdini to make that catch and slam it through.
Stupendous alley-oop. Dallas has gone 6 of 12 from outside. A very nice 50% mark, shooting the three ball well.
And in their history, the Dallas Mavericks have never moved up in the draft, and they needed to do so this summer to keep their pick.
Well, you think about it, Greg, they went into it with a little over a 26% chance to move up into the top 4. That did not happen. The Hawks collecting that 10th pick from the Luka Doncic trade.
Just 2 to shoot. Three-pointer right, and that one's good. His second basket of 4, shooting 50%.
Well, if you offer no resistance defensively, he's going to knock down the 3. It's really that simple, guys.
Burks kicks to James. There's the pass to Robinson. Shoots the 3. Kleba with the rebound. Mavericks trail by 7. Here's Doncic, and the dunk by Doncic.
If he sees a lane to the rim, Doncic will capitalize. Nice drive.
Here's James. He can't get it to go. Now Dallas takes it the other way. When this game is done, they'll be off to take on the Raptors. That'll be the second of this 2-game road trip. And Cauley Stein throws it down.
Oh, just solid on the one-handed slam.
And guys, when it's a tight ball game like this, he's the guy they want with the ball. Timeout called the 76ers. Boris, if I were to ask you right now in the league, who has the most unstoppable shot, who would you tell me?
You know what's interesting, Kevin, is I wonder if in the long view of history, James Harden's step-back three will become sort of an identifiable shot with him, the way the sky hook was with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Oh, yes,
right?
yes.
Like, you wonder, does that become a signature play for James? It certainly is something that's darn near impossible to stop right now.
Misses off the left eye.
I think he's got to settle down, because right now it feels like he's rushing, like he's forcing some shots. This quarter, he has been completely bothered.
Yeah, nice, silky finish on the alley-oop from the stupendous feed.
That sequence couldn't have been executed any better. Pass to Brunson. Now, here's Doncic. Burks covering. Unloads. Doncic, no good.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
James, the bounce pass, stolen by Brunson. Here's Doncic. Great D that time from James.
And they hold a huge advantage on the backboard.
Floats it up for James. Mavericks trail by 9. Dallas calls timeout.
Well, it's been an express lane to the rim. Coach can't be happy about that.
Well, poor rotations, poor communication. There's a lot to figure out right now.
Some changes for Philadelphia. Joel Embiid comes in for Alec Burks, and Harris subbed in for Glenn Robinson III. And the Mavericks will go for a different look here. Zinkas, he's checked in for Willie Cauley-Stein. Powell comes in for Maxi Kleber. Hardaway's checked in for Luka Doncic. And it's Seth Curry in for DeLon Wright. And James picks up the foul. That's his third foul of the game. Timeout called the 76ers. And this matchup with the Mavericks, it's the first meeting of the season.
And going back a season ago, it was a win for both sides in their 2 meetings.
You know, despite the disparity in talent, these two teams played each other tough last year. Let's see how competitive they are this time around.
Pass to Brunson. Poke loose. That's out of bounds. The Mavericks able to retain possession here. Now we get a chance to check out the standings out west. Already we're in December. Take a look at the Mavericks. This hasn't been the kind of year they envisioned. Time running out.
You know, right now, Dallas, they talked all offseason about how this year was going to be different. Nobody bought into it then, and nobody's buying into it now.
All talk, no walk. Simple as that. They just don't match up with the better teams in the NBA.
And they double up James. Outside for Simmons. Here's Korkmaz. No good on the triple. And so it's Porzingis. He'll bring it up for the Dallas Mavericks. They trail by 6. Brunson the pass to Hardaway. Porzingis with the ball. And the rejection by James. And here we go. Fast break. James has got it. And he drops it in from the low post. James has got 12 points now in the quarter.
Well, they're calling his number time and time again, and he is delivering.
Here's Brunson. He has 5. Pass to Hardaway. The 3. And Embiid pulls it down. Embiid's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. And slam dunk by Harris.
Oh, inflicting some punishment with the 2-hand flush.
They're going for the throat. Mavericks trail by 10. Brunson with it. And he can be counted on to put some points on the board every night. He's averaging right around 13.5 points a game. On the wing, James. Brunson covering. Korkmaz. And he's good on the 3-ball. Korkmaz has got the lead up to 13 now for the 76ers. Brunson the pass to Porzingis. Back to Brunson to stop the run. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. That's on Ben Simmons.
What a college career for Jalen.
The 76ers have made 5 of 8 of their free throw attempts.
And 74% has been the mark for them on the season thus far.
The first free throw is good. And Harris drops them both. And so it's the Philadelphia 7. And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. It's been a clinic out there by James.
In those first 2 quarters, he was pretty much an automatic bucket getter if he got it down low on the block.
Well, you can see why they would continue to play through him. He was tough to stop, super assertive down low, just great work.
On the floor for Dallas, Doncic and Hardaway at the 2 and the 3. Then there's Dwight Powell. Then it's Jalen Brunson. And it's Kleba in at the 4. Doris, such an honor to be on this with you. And you were the first female to become a full-time NBA analyst, breaking new ground. You've accomplished so much in your life, personally, professionally. What would you tell young women who are graduating college, looking to get ahead in their career in what you've chosen?
Well, first and foremost, I've been very lucky, Kevin. The game of basketball has been a part of my life since I was 7. It's been a driving force. I love it. I would just tell young women, times are changing. Dream big. There's nothing that's impossible. And I'm so thankful to the NBA players and coaches who have just wrapped their arms around me from the time I entered this business. So kudos to those players who are part of the change, no question.
And hard work. I have seen you work. I have seen you prepare. No one prepares more. No one works harder.
Thanks, Dad.
Out of Würzburg, Germany, undrafted Maxi Kleber. The strong start, Doris, to his career.
Incredible to think he grows up in the same small town as Dirk Nowitzki, and he first meets Dirk when he's 12 years old. What an amazing story for them to become teammates on the Mavericks. So cool.
Here's James. Misses the baby hook. Mavericks trail by 13. And if you're just joining us, we played over a minute here in the third. Some solid defense from Harris. James against Hardaway. And it's James missing.
And the activity he shows around the rim is why he is such a respected defender.
And what you love about his work defensively, the ability to challenge and change shots without fouling.
Here's Simmons. Good, and the assist goes to James. James has got his 7th assist of the game with that last one.
A hard worker who really ferociously strives to improve. Simmons tonight has been unstoppable at the offensive end.
And Doris, given how much of last season he missed and how early he came into the league, Porzingis a lot younger than people think.
Yeah, no doubt, Kevin. Think about it. He becomes an all-star at the age of 22 and already one of the more recognizable faces in the league. It is truly scary to think that in a few years, KP could be miles better than where he is today.
And passes like that demonstrate the winning mindset Simmons has. A guy that wants to get his team involved.
Hardaway from outside, and that's a foul called on Porzingis. That will be foul number 5 on him. Cauley Stein, he's checked in for Porzingis. And Simmons kicks to Richardson. James outside. The pass to Richardson. Back to James. It's tipped. And Doncic with a clear path to the hoop. And the dunk by Doncic.
What a basketball mind when you think about Luka Doncic. This guy in the break is exploiting defenses.
Simmons passes to James. Good ball movement here by the 76ers. Down low. Nails the baby hook. James has got 23.
You can see why they go to this guy so often. More often than not, he's going to be very efficient like he is right here.
Here's Cauley Stein and blocked. That one goes careening off the glass. And there's Richardson on the assist by James. And now an 11-point 76ers lead. And so it's Brunson with it. He brings it up for the Dallas Mavericks. Doncic finds Brunson. On the wing, Hardaway. They double him with Simmons to the middle. In the corner, Hardaway with it. Over James. And the rejection by James. Just over 3.5 minutes through the third quarter of play now. Here's the lob for Harris.
No hesitation at all on the alley-oop. Saw his teammate with a path to the hoop, and bang, lobbed it right up there for him to finish.
And he was ready for it when he elevated and made the catch. Brunson the pass to Doncic. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. That one on Richardson.
Luka Doncic is so clever. This guy able to draw the contact to get himself to the free throw line.
Both teams deciding to change it up.
Luka Doncic can pass it, shoot it, drive it, and he does it all with great flair.
Simmons dishes to James. Tries from 10. The basket good off the assist from Simmons. He's got 25.
And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
And you see some of the shots that Doncic knocks down. Doris, the degree of difficulty is off the charts.
It is, Kevin, but the skill I love the most is his passing. It doesn't matter if it's a hook pass, a lob. He has the strength to hit the weak side corner, and this guy loves delivering in the big moments. It is so fun to watch him.
And Simmons kicks to James. Up and in on the layup. James has got 9 points here in the second half.
Well, defensively, to me, you've got to do a better job communicating once the screen comes.
Pass to Hardaway. Out left to the wing. Here's Kleba. And a miss there with a chance to cut the lead to single digits.
Yeah, they've shown effort and aggression in the paint, really right from the tip. Their rebounding edge right now, massive, and really keeping the ball hopping around here offensively.
For Philadelphia, they have made 10 of their 14 tries at the free throw line in the game.
And done a much better job from the line this half. They've gotten that percentage up over 80 for the game.
Here's Doncic. Made that one as his 7th of the contest, 7 for 15 from the floor.
You got to remember that Luka Doncic is so much more than a shooter. He's got every shot in his arsenal, even amongst the trees in there.
And it's out of bounds. Nice touch by Doncic. Let's check out some of the best shooting teams out there. Those 76ers in second.
So patient on the offensive end. I mean, they're not going to force shots, and it's that selectiveness that's yielded such an impressive field goal percentage.
And now here comes Wright, leading the break. He gets it in there. Wright's got his 3rd bucket of the night.
And they need those kind of plays right now. Smart defense that generates some more.
James in the post, and it's blocked. No one near Doncic as he lets it fly. Off the mark, had a chance to trim it to single digits. Now here's James. 27 points for him. Lobbed up there for Embiid. And stolen by Cauley Stein. Here's Doncic. And it's blocked by Simmons.
How about the balance and body control? Simmons able to send that one packing. And now only one away from being in the penalty.
Robinson's checked in for Simmons. Curry's checked in for Dallas. Embiid finds James. There's the lob to the hoop. Embiid, the pass to James. Embiid, no good. Mavericks trailed by 11. Passes to Cauley-Stein. No good there, and that would have cut it to single digits. Philadelphia's gone 5 of 10 from downtown tonight. 50% exactly. Here's Wright. Fouled on the shot and picks up 2 points. So 1 free throw coming up.
And that's a momentum shifter. A steal leading straight to the basket.
Korkmaz checked in for Philadelphia. And Dallas with a change here too. Powell's checked in.
Wow, they've made every free throw here in the second half.
Philadelphia leading by 8. James outside. And they double up James. And wrestling for it there, but no one has possession. We'll have a jump ball. So it's Philadelphia now. And so it's Doncic with it. He brings it up for the Mavericks. Pass to Powell. Curry with it. Robinson picks him up inside. Shot is good, and the 76ers lead is cut down to just 6 points with the basket from Doncic.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
And Embiid throws it down.
Oh, phenomenal alley-oop slam there.
They are taking advantage of a team that looks lost out there. Right outside. Back to Curry. And it's Philadelphia with the rebound. James has got rebound number 12 now. Tenacity on the glass. And they double up James. Robinson dishes to James. Now the pass to Korkmaz. Count it. And it's a 10-point Philadelphia lead.
That's how you share the rock. He does this time and time again.
Right outside. Back to Curry. Pass to Kleba. And that one goes long. The 76ers leading by 10. Another steal. They double him with James. And stolen by James. Trying to go for an alley-oop, but excellent defense and anticipation there to stop it. Dallas has gone 4 of 6 from three-point land since the start of the second half. Doncic outside, passes it to Powell. Wide open. That shot, no good. And the 76ers go the other way with it. The biggest lead of the game, 15 points. The Wizards on the road to face them after this game. That'll be the last of 3 straight at home for the team.
And taking a look here at some numbers for James. He's been on a remarkable tear this past month. He's averaging 48 points, 17 rebounds, and 13 assists. And with his great passing, he's been a catalyst for their offense, often seeing plays even before they materialize.
There's no doubt about that. Great anticipation, excellent peripheral vision. His talents are really shining through.
Greg, you look at the young Luka Doncic. What impresses you the most right now about his game?
Well, Kevin, you just don't see many players his height who can handle and make step-back threes. Also, his confidence. He came into the league never doubting that he could dominate a game. And don't forget about his brilliance as a passer.
Mavericks trail by 10. There's the 3. Offensive rebound. Here's Kleba. The third shot of the possession finally falls for him. Kleba's got 10 points in the quarter.
And not relying at all on the three-point shot. They may want to rethink about stretching the defense a bit like they did in that first half. The D just kind of stepping aside and letting him get to the rim.
There's a reason, GA. The lead is what it is right now.
I tell you, you can't get stops if you're unwilling to put in the work.
He blocks it again.
A defensive stalwart so far. That's 6 blocks.
Greg protecting the rim. Love the hustle.
How about the skills of Dwight Powell down low? Hard for the defense to match up with his length.
Burks, the pass to O'Quinn, deflects the pass. And that's out of bounds. Philadelphia will retain possession.
And so far, the story on Luka Doncic. Unbelievable play for him over the last month. 5th in scoring, 8th in assists, and he's a defensive ball hawk. You can't let your guard down. Remember, he's 10th in the league in steals per game.
And as you said, one of the NBA's most potent scorers. Always up to the challenge. His top 5 ranking has him right there with the elite.
How about the height and the length and the athleticism of Kristaps Porzingis? Barely has to jump to throw that down.
Down low, and James throws it down.
And how about the communication between teammates on that alley-oop?
And that's what you need to pull that thing off. Mavericks trail by 8. There's 53 seconds left in the third. Doncic finds Brunson, and the shot goes in. Brunson's got 8 points.
I'll tell you, he turns a difficult situation of duress into a simple basket with a precision pass out of the double team.
Out of bounds, Dallas takes possession.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
There's 39 seconds left to play in the third. The foul. Now Doncic, James covering. Doncic, no good. The 76ers leading by 6. Releases. Powell pulls it in. Powell's got his 5th rebound in this one. On the wing, Doncic. Brunson the pass to Porzingis. And that one hits back iron. It could go. He's off on that one. And so it's the Philadelphia 76ers with a 6-point lead at the end of the quarter. Their defense has been active and effective. We'll take a quick break and then back to the action here. Well, what a terrific game it's been so far, with this 4th quarter sure to bring more pressure-packed basketball. Korkmaz is out there with Richardson. Then there's Jay. Then there's Kyle O'Quinn. And it's Harris in at the small forward. That's the group on the floor for Philadelphia. The first one falls. And Harris drops them both. Mavericks trail by 8. Harris on the double team. Brunson the pass to Doncic. Back to Brunson. Uncovered. Rebound by the 76ers.
Well, they'll be happy with that look, even though it didn't fall.
I think expect them to go back to it, because that's the kind of shot this offense is designed to generate.
Knocks it loose. And stolen by James. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. And so he's picked up his final foul. And he will sit for the rest of this game.
Yeah, and luckily they've got terrific depth at that position. If there's one spot on the floor where they can afford to lose somebody, that would probably be it.
Ben Simmons, he's checked in for Philadelphia. And it's blocked by Simmons. They recover it, and he gets it back. Now Hardaway, and the pass to Brunson. Shot clock at 5. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by James. Two on the clock. Here's Doncic. And at last, they get one to fall.
We call that staying calm, recognizing the situation, and saving the possession. Doncic able to beat the clock.
Simmons finds James. And James throws it down.
And he can do a lot more damage to the rim than that when he wants to.
Oh, you're right. Oh, and with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised Surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one. Here's Korkmaz. Yes, it's James picking up the assist. And the 76ers lead by 13. And so it's Brunson with it. He brings it up for Dallas. Pass to Cauley Stein. Looking to end his cold spell. And it goes down 2 points. Game moves along. 2 minutes gone here in the fourth. Now here's Simmons. Brunson covering. And that's out of bounds. Philadelphia will retain possession.
Active hands from him as he's able to deflect that pass out of bounds.
Well, that's what you call a game of inches. They talk about it in football. We'll see it right there.
Oh, just a soft touch on both ends of that pretty alley.
I got to say, when he threw the pass, I didn't know where it was going. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by James. And it's the Mavericks with the ball. It's a 13-point game. Doncic kicks to Brunson. To the paint. Here's Cauley Stein. And Cauley Stein throws it down.
Cauley Stein, a tremendous athlete and a dynamic finisher.
Floats it up for James. An emphatic alley-oop jam.
Bigger, a ridiculous offensive sequence.
That dunk alone would have been spectacular. Never mind it coming at the end of an alley-oop. To the middle, and Cauley Stein throws it down.
He just punched the ticket on that one. That'll get the job done.
Powerful two-hand jam. And he lobs it up toward the rim, and it's out of bounds. The 76ers able to retain possession here. And the 76ers making a change here. Embiid's checked in. To the inside, Simmons. And the layup is good after a nice lead pass. Simmons got 21.
Yeah, 3 consecutive field goals have come right at the rim. The D had better start buckling now.
Brunson, no good.
And the stroke definitely lacking confidence this quarter. Nothing on target.
The drive by James. And another assist for him.
That makes 15 assists.
He's been one step ahead of the defense all game long. Doncic against Richardson. Doncic dishes to Cauley Stein. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. A wide body off the bench. Dwight Powell gives you productive minutes.
He does, Kevin, and that's most reflected in the plus-minus when you look at his stats. This is a guy who hasn't averaged a ton of minutes, but he scores and he defends at a high level when he's given those minutes.
James, the pass to Harris.
Yeah, easy call.
That's good from Harris. Dallas making a switch here. Kleba's checked in. Both good from the line that time. And the Mavericks call time here. You look at James, what a contribution.
This is a timely timeout because this guy is hurting them. They've got to figure it out.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin, I heard Rick Carlisle during that last break talking with the team. And he was emphatic. He said, we are not going to win this game playing this way, fellas. You've got to step it up. You've got to get aggressive. And you've got to battle to get back in this thing. With that pep talk coming home.
And defensively, guys, they've been unable to shut down the middle.
Brunson kicks to Hardaway. Pass to Doncic. In the corner, it's Kleba. Good. And the assist goes to Doncic. Doncic has got assist number 11 for him here tonight. The 76ers leading by 14. James dishes to Richardson. Here's Harris, and slam dunk by Harris.
And ever since halftime, they played precision basketball offensively.
I got to believe that's something the coach talked to them about at the halftime. They have valued each possession.
Knocked loose and stolen by James. Richardson, that's a 2-pointer. Again, Philadelphia.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
Cauley Stein kicks to Hardaway. Here's Doncic. And Joel Embiid pulls it down. Embiid's got 9 rebounds now tonight. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
You know, I'll tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
That's good from Harris. Dwight Powell's checked in for Dallas. And so he makes both from the line. Well, it's all right, this is going to come out of the blue here, but if you had to choose between raising the height of the basket or widening the floor or even widening the lane, which would it be? So it's the 76ers winning this one easily. This game may not have been the most exciting we've ever seen, but you have to appreciate just what...
I know their fans appreciate it, and we saw at times this stretches of excellent defense. From an offensive standpoint as well, they were pretty much dominant.
And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Alden, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for tuning in. So long, everyone.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
And we welcome you back.
Hey, Shaq here. You look like the great Bill Russell tonight. Seriously, you did. Blocking shots, changing shots. Talk about your role on the defensive end for this team.
Shaq, man, for real, this may be my favorite part of the game.
And that'll wrap things up. Thank you.
Check. I want to show you something that can happen.
You said it's something right?
Yeah, just come see what you have.
Hey, buddy, appreciate it. Hey, how you doing? How you doing?
Time for one of my favorite segments.
NBA 2K21 demo is here. And in the demo, you can get a head start on your My Career by jumping in and trying out the My Player Builder. To start off, you have the option to download the My NBA 2K21 mobile app to scan your face into the game. Once you're good with your appearance, it's time to try out the builder. This year, we've added more skill breakdowns to choose from, so make sure to take a look.
Really bad news on the injury front today, Hornet. Turns out we've got a worst-case scenario brewing with Kyrie Irving's injury.
chance here to rank the top rookies in the NBA. The race for the Rookie of the Year. How about these guys? Oh, what a group. You look at James. Well, he's shown he's a force as we move along in the meat of the season, sitting pretty at that #1 spot now, and it's his race to lose.
And this is just a special player. No question he should be favored for the Rookie of the Year award at this point.
I would have to agree. The thing that impresses me most is his mental toughness. He's got the kind of poise that you just don't see in a lot of rookies.
And now Washington's starting group. Ball runs the point with Beal at the 2. Now there's Bertans out there with Wagner, and it's Brown at the 3, the small forward. And for the 76ers. In the backcourt, Simmons and Richardson. Embiid is out there with Jay, and it's Harrison at the small forward. The Wizards shooting their first free throws. First trip to the line in this one. It's a new front office in Washington, and Greg, they've got their work cut out for them.
John Wall's huge Supermax contract as he deals with the Achilles injury. Tough questions to be answered about the direction they're going to take talent-wise.
And it's out of bounds. The 76ers able to retain possession here. Washington on D. With the fadeaway. That's in, and he found his range with that one. Now 1 for 2.
And hitting the mid-range jumper here early gives the defense just another thing to think about.
Well, that's something that they scouted him coming into tonight. They know he can make this shot. That's a poor effort defensively.
And the one-hand slam just looks so pretty when it's in his hand and he's the one doing the slam.
Agreed. He is smooth as silk, even on a power finish. And here comes Brown, leading the fast break. Good on the bucket.
Ball's decision-making is excellent, especially when he's handling the rock.
Here's Philadelphia, 4-point game. Inside, here's Richardson. The basket good off the assist from Simmons.
He doesn't play around. If the bucket's there for him, he's going to get it.
And it's Wall with the ball for the Wizards. Wall draws the double, and James picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. And here in the first, closing in on 2 minutes play. Pass to Bertans. Three-pointer. No good that time. And Philadelphia the other way now. They went to Washington for the last meeting with the Wizards, and they came out with the win.
And the last time these two met, they were able to get a big win because of that bench production. Second unit might be a factor in this one as well.
That's just something to keep an eye on. I mean, when their reserves are operating at a high level, so tough to keep.
And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
Right around midseason here, Chris, more players-only meetings being held. Give us a little insight into what those are like.
Well, there's some really good ones, Kevin, and there's some bad ones. There's ones that goes, hey, guys, just wanted to bring us all here and say, man, listen, we can do a little bit better. We need to focus. I'll start with myself. I can be better on the boards. You need to be better guards over here. Those kind of meetings are good. Then there's the ones that say, listen, guys, we're going in the playoffs. I need everyone to put the phones down. No more going out. Sacrifice. Tell your in-laws, tell your spouse, tell your family, listen, for the next month we're honed in where we can't come back. And then there's the ones that you don't like, the ones that finger point and saying, hey, guys, I called this meeting because I'm tired of all of you. None of you are putting up. And then another guy says, wait, I'm not doing my job. You're not doing your job. And other guys come in and you kind of get how it goes. So a lot of different ways you can have meetings. But hopefully as a coach, you have great leadership. So at the end of the day, even if you have hurt feelings, guys come out better for it.
Here's Wall after the made shot from James. Here's Wall. He had a 21-point outing in their last game against Toronto.
And how about his defense? I mean, 4 blocks on the night. They couldn't keep him down.
And that's exactly what he's looking for, draining the triple.
Simmons feeling it out a bit. James and the dunk by James.
You can't leave anyone uncovered around Simmons. I mean, he's fantastic at seeing when one of his guys is open.
Here's the floater, and Wall lays it in. Wall's got 6.
Oh, even from that range, the floater is one of the toughest shots in the game.
Simmons passes to Richardson. Philadelphia moving the ball around. On the wing, Harris. Down low. It's stolen by Bergeron. Got a piece of it. And stolen by James. Richardson gets a wide open look. Yes, it's James picking up the assist.
Boy, he is looking confident. Love how they're using him so far.
Yeah, that's because he's getting his number called early. I mean, he's doing his part to help carry the offensive load.
And the dunk by James.
And the pass there floated it up to the precise spot it needed to be.
And no messing around on the finish. He powers it through. Now here's Wall. 6 points for him. Here's Pertinis. That one dropped for his second bucket. Mark him 2 for 4.
Never any doubt where Bradley Beal's going with that pass. I mean, if he has a teammate that wide open, he's not going to miss it.
Out to Harris. He's looking for James and finds him. It's in, and he's a very efficient 5 for 6 on the game.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
And so it's Wall. He brings it up for the Wizards. Trailing by 2. Bergeron's with the ball. Now guarded by Simmons. Wall, no luck. The 76ers have gone 7 of 8 from the field to start the game. Very hot shooting. And another hit. Shot made once more from James.
Oh, that's not the kind of interior defense you want. Way too slow to protect the rim.
Outside, Wall. And the rejection by James. And the dunk by James.
And how about that? What a sensational finish.
Hey, you got to be able to get some hang time to do that one. And Washington has possession. 6-point game. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Simmons against Wall. And the rejection by James. Out of bounds. Philadelphia takes possession. And look now at a few years' worth of data. Some of the assist numbers under the microscope for Wall.
The drop in his assists over the past few years have made him more of a one-dimensional player offensively. He needs to get that passing element back in his game, and that'll make life a lot more difficult for opposing defense. And creating a little separation here, gaining some confidence.
Yeah, it feels like they're just one step ahead right now, looking to build out their advantage even further.
Now, here's Wall. He's got 6. Down kicks to Wall. Outside, Beal. 5 on the clock. And there's the call on Joel Embiid. That is his first foul of the game. And the 76ers making a change here. Burks is checked in. The Wizards also changing it up. Bryant comes in for Mo Wagner. And it's Hachimura in for Davis Bertans. Pass to James. In the corner, Simmons with it. Floats it up for James. Embiid's shot is good.
And they have owned the paint so far, and the score reflects it.
Well, you think defensively that should try to pack in the lane. I mean, but then that opens up some opportunities for the shooters.
So timeout called here, the first for Washington. Chris, there are guys that talk a lot of trash on the floor. You played against some legendary trash talkers. Who stands out in that area when you think back to when you played?
And I tell you what, the 2 guys that are on my mind, they definitely could have talked trash with the best of all time, and that's Pat Beverly. We've seen what he does. He just keeps coming and coming and coming. And that guy, Day-Day, yeah, Draymond Green, the one that plays out there in Golden State. Oh, yeah, he has a mouth on him, too. I think you heard him.
And when you played, who was the best trash talker back in your day?
By far, Larry Bird and Gary Payton. Those 2 guys would talk trash that so much that you would get entertained into their talking and be like, well, what are you going to say next? I'm having a good time out here. It was always in fun, but trust me, they always wanted to stick that dagger into you, too.
And you couldn't hide a smile either. They started getting you going. You could not hide a smile.
I couldn't, and that was my thing. I talked trash while I was smiling, so maybe no one else knew what I was saying but you. But those guys, yeah, they keep you laughing out there. They talk trash about you themselves after they missed the shot. They would talk themselves down or talk to a fan that was talking to them. So it was always entertaining. The best trash talkers talk to everyone, not just to their opponent.
Now here's James. He picked up 39 points in the last one against Dallas.
But even more impressively was his shot blocking. I mean, by the end, they were afraid to bring the ball anywhere near him. Can you say intimidation?
Here's Hachimura after the made shot from Joel Embiid. Here's Hachimura. And Joel Embiid pulls it down. The 76ers leading by 8. The drive by James, and James throws it down.
Yeah, they have gone full throttle from the opening tip, showing no signs of letting up.
Oh, man, they built a monster lead here early on, and a lot of this is due to the game plan.
There's Beal with the 3, and James pulls it down. James has got 4 rebounds now tonight. From 6 away, again, Philadelphia.
Displaying intensity right off the opening tip, especially on the offensive end.
Yeah, they've been very aggressive, and they've taken early control of this game.
Here's Hachimura. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Toronto, and Embiid pulls it down. Philadelphia with the ball, leading by 12. They want to keep it rolling here following the win against Dallas.
In that one, they owned the backboards. Most of the second chance opportunities went to them.
Yeah, if you can be that much better on the glass, you're going to win the game.
Here's Napier after the made shot from James. Here's Beal from down in the low post. It goes. Beal's got 5 now.
Love the touch on that floater right there. Bill has this shot down to a science.
Outside, Simmons. Korkmaz passes to Burks. Philadelphia moving the ball around. Here's Korkmaz. He had 16 points in the win against Dallas.
Nothing less than that kind of defense will cut it against them. That's just great work inside.
Beal can't get it to go.
And the activity he shows around the rim is why he is such a respected defender.
Yeah, you can see why he's established that reputation. Strong understanding of how to defend at the rim.
Excellent all-around performance so far, hence the big lead.
Yeah, Greg, they've come out of the gate strong at both ends of the floor. Just in total control so far.
Now here's Beal. He's coming off a 22-point game against Toronto.
Field is graceful on the drive. Clever at finding ways around the defense.
And here's Simmons. He'll bring it up for Philadelphia. A 12-point game. Tries again. And it's James missing.
That's a shot they're always happy to give, even when he blows the finish.
Napier feeling it out a bit. And there's the pass to Hachimura. And James pulls it down. The 76ers leading by 12. 56 seconds left here in the first quarter. And it's Bradley Beal with the rebound.
A team's rebounding is a great measure of its energy, and theirs has been terrific here in the first quarter. He might not have the long range ability of some other guys, but he will knock down open ones like that.
Here's Simmons following the three-pointer by Washington. The 76ers with another miss.
With the D playing soft off him, he might have been better off taking it to the hoop instead of settling for the jumper. If you can't hit that one, your teammates are going to think twice about feeding you the next time.
Now here's James. 25 points in the game. Simmons on the wing. On the wing, James. He dishes it to Simmons. James kicks to Simmons. Yes, it's James picking up the assist. James has got 3 assists tonight. Domination in the first quarter. It's been pretty lopsided. 76ers lead by 12. And the second quarter will get underway just after this short break. One of the most dangerous scorers in the game, Bradley Beal spoke about the trust Coach Scott Brooks has in him and his teammates.
I think the biggest thing is he's still young, so he tries to think he's still hip.
Owen Beal. It's a completely new group here for Philadelphia, and a new group getting ready to come in for Washington. Wagner, he's checked in for Thomas Bryant. Brown comes in for Hachimura. Bradley Beal's checked in for Payton, and John Wall subbed in for Napier. So on the floor for Washington, Wall runs the play with Beal at the 2. Wagner out there with Brown, and it's Mahinmi in at the 5, down low.
Proving how legitimate of a threat he is inside. I mean, once Embiid gets it this close, it's all over. I'm not really sure I've ever seen a center who could play bully ball in the paint, then step out and hit the 3, then give you the handles in the mix like Joel Embiid. I mean, him and Boogie Cousins are really the only two that come to mind.
On the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, Jay in that last matchup against the Mavericks was all business. He picked up 39 points, and that was just the start of it. He wound up with a triple-double in what was quite a display for him. He put up great numbers and a terrific effort. It's not a game that anyone wanted to miss. And he'll be looking for a repeat performance tonight, Kevin.
Thank you, David. You're right. He was a one-man wrecking crew in that one.
Yeah, he was not going to let them lose that game. We'll see if he comes in with that same attitude tonight.
No, I think he will, because he takes being a leader seriously, and it shows in how he approaches things at both ends of the court.
Embiid, no good. And even though Embiid has that deep range, he prefers to throw his weight around inside.
And he should, Kevin. And at times, the lack of spacing has forced him to step outside. I mean, he's as gifted as you can get on that block. I mean, you got to get him the ball down there with space to work.
That's a double whammy, guys.
That's right. A great defensive play, then the emphatic stuff.
Oh, yeah, bang, bang. An impressive sequence that has them fired up.
Ball against Simmons. Over to the left wing. Here's Wagner. No good with the triple.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
Harris finds James. Philadelphia moving the ball around. Over Wall. James with the bucket. James has got 31 points.
And at the offensive end, he's done about as much as they could have hoped for today.
Outside, Wall. Passes it to Wagner. Fires the 3. Oh, he got hacked on the three-pointer. He'll head to the line.
Yeah, good job trying to get a hand in the face, but you've got to be more careful.
He's getting his first free throw attempt of the night right now.
Yeah, it's good to see him with his free throw percentage up over 80.
Korkmaz checked in for Philadelphia. Chris, more and more we're seeing star players give their sneakers to fans at the end of games. Did you ever do that?
Oh, yeah, man. Especially when I was with Gala, I would give a pair of shoes away after every game.
Oh, great.
I really love doing it on the road. At home is really cool, but on the road is great because that's where you know that fan braved all those other fans and the elements to wear your jersey and to be the only one there, so you look for that kid. I used to look for the kid with the number 4 wearing jersey and be like, hey, kid, I know what you wish you could wear that tonight. You make sure you go home with these bragging rights. Tell them these are fresh from the game and we beat your team, baby.
Yeah, that's a neat way to connect. Good, and the assist goes to James. Korkmaz has got 5 points now in the quarter.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
Pass to Beal, a 3-ball, hits the 3-point bomb.
This is what you think of when you hear Bill's name, a dangerous 3-point shooter.
And Simmons kicks to James. Pass to Korkmaz from outside the arc, buries it from 3-point range. Korkmaz has got 8.
I mean, it took him a long time to get into the flow of the game, but the points are starting to come for him.
They double-team Beal. Wagner passes to Beal, and stolen by James. By himself, and James throws it down.
And I think that play sort of sums up what we've seen tonight. Just simply being outplayed both sides of the ball. Smart basketball defensively, turning into easy points.
A fader. And Philadelphia grabs the miss. James has got rebound number 9 now. What an effort here tonight. The pass to Korkmaz. Fires for three. That one misses. And the Wizards now going the other way. And Beal kicks to Mahimi. Back to Beal. To the middle. And stolen by Simmons. And they're pushing it up. Here's Korkmaz. Rebound, Washington. And James picks up the foul. And that'll be his third foul so far. Ryan is checked in for Washington. Hachimura comes in for Troy Brown. Hangs in the air, and it's Bryant missing.
And he did everything he could to make that shot as difficult as possible.
Excellent D, avoiding fouling and got in the perfect position to alter the shot.
And they double up James. Simmons passes to James. Back to Simmons. There's the dish to Richardson. Misses from close range. It would take a major comeback for them to get back into this game.
And the chances of that happening don't look good.
And the aggressiveness of Wall feels like no one can guard him when he's hot.
Here's Simmons. Wow, hammering it in.
The versatility of Simmons is astounding, amazing, impressive. Dunks like this are just insane.
Now Wall. 2 on the clock, and he lays it up and in. Wall's got 8 points here in this quarter.
And that's an example of playing big, adapting to the situation.
Oh, yeah, difficult finish, but if you expected him to back that.
Thank you, David, and we'll be right back after halftime to start the third. And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly here in the second. It's been a clinic out there by James.
Well, with a double-double in hand through 2 quarters, you can just imagine what his stat line will look like at the end of this one.
Yeah, it could be one of those epic games, but we still have a long way to go.
Richardson and Harris filling out the wings. Jay out there with Joel Embiid, and it's Simmons in at the 1. And that's the group for Brett Brown as we begin the second half.
Well, you know he's had to deal with some major injuries over the course of his career, but Wall never loses the drive to succeed.
Now here's James. Defense is right there, and Harris wide open. He shoots. No good on the shot, a bit long that time. Wall, that's a 2-pointer, and James pulls it down. James has got rebound number 11 for him here tonight. To the paint. And Harris hits it to go on the assist by James. James has got his 8th assist in the game. Wizards trail by 21. Wall looking it over. Brown wide open. He fired. His 3-pointer's off the mark.
Well, you don't see that very well. A wide open 3 is usually like a layup to him.
And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by James. And let's take a peek at the players contending for a spot in the dunk contest this year. Each and every one of these guys can do amazing things around the bucket.
And they will. I guarantee you that we're going to see things in this year's contest that we've never seen before. Those fellas have some tricks up their sleeve for sure.
Well, look at Simmons. Some might say he's a long shot at this point, but you never know.
Hey, stranger things have happened, and we'll just have to wait and see.
And so that's the breakdown as it currently stands. We'll be keeping you all updated with the latest info and, of course, our final list of contestants as we get closer.
Yeah, and if they don't invite me to be a judge, I'm still going.
Brown finds Wall. Doesn't get it to drop for him. Simmons with the defensive effort.
This was not what they had in mind coming out of the locker room at halftime. 4 shots so far and nothing to show for it.
Well, what's not to like about Joel Embiid? A physical specimen at over 7 feet tall, all the skill in the world, and a personality made for stardom.
2 minutes gone in this third quarter now. And so it's Wall with it, bringing it up for Washington. Out to the right wing. to the inside. Beal, and the rejection by James.
And physically, there's no doubt they've been the stronger team. A +10 rebound advantage tells you all you need to know.
They get it back. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
Such a force of nature inside. I love how hard Embiid goes to pick up these fouls.
You talk about Embiid's personality, whether it's on the court or through social media. Greg, he's not shy speaking his mind.
One of the best trash talkers in the league. He doesn't hold back, but it's never personal. He's embracing the spirit of competition.
James dishes to Harris. A shot by Burks. Nobody around. Another miss by Philadelphia. Burks against Brown. Left side, Beal to halt the run. The Wizards with another miss.
Jesus surprises anyone with that miss. When he's left alone like that, you can usually count it.
James with it. 33 points for him. Embiid draws contact on the shot, and now a 3-point play chance as he'll head to the line.
Superb focus from the big man. Embiid, I mean, you really have to whack him to prevent the bucket.
Shabazz Napier's checked in for Washington. The free throw drops for Embiid. Well, if teams are getting shaken up a bit, coach is usually the first to go, get fired. Do you think teams get too trigger happy with that aspect, coach first and then looking at the team?
Yeah, I do. But unfortunately, if you're the head of the team, that's the responsibility, and that's kind of that's just your job to take all of the heat. Being a coach is such a thankless job. You don't get thanked unless you win the championship. If not, it's like, good job. Okay, we don't care about the fires you put out. We don't care about the players you develop. We don't care about the chemistry you built. You didn't win. And so, yeah, coaches are usually the first to go, and it's unfair. But hopefully they have some connections and they have a good resume, because they'll be back around somewhere else. They'll pop up somewhere else.
They sure will.
And with that basket, he's able to end a 10-0 run by Philadelphia.
Floats it up for James. Up high to stop the alley-oop.
And the definition of teamwork right there on that alley-oop.
And Greg, what about the finish? Bringing it down with some thunder. Yeah. Now, here's Napier. Guarded by Simmons. Here's Pertinis. The Wizards have made 6 of their 7 attempts at the line in this one. And he knocks down. The Wizards have made their free throws at a pretty good clip. They've hit 8 of 10.
One shot.
And that one falls for Beal.
Yeah, Kevin, and it didn't happen overnight, but it's clear that Bradley Beal is a franchise player. I mean, he's worked on his game year to year, and now he's a superstar in this league.
Passes it to Richardson. 6 to shoot. Floats it up for James. Takes the alley-oop pass and dunks it down.
And this is how you want to come out of the half. Prolific and efficient.
Oh, just a dream scenario for them so far. Their offense looking like a well-oiled machine.
And Chris, with Beal, it's in large part due to how he has expanded his game, which means he now impacts the game more.
Yeah, well, Beal moves so much on both offense and defense. He's a very active player. He's never passive on the floor, and he looks for ways to inject himself into games.
And the 76ers making a change here. Embiid's checked in. Wall passes to Mahinmi. There's the feed to Bryant. And Bryant slams it in.
That's a double whammy, guys.
That's right. A great defensive play, then the emphatic stuff.
Oh, yeah, bang, bang. An impressive sequence that has them fired.
And the dunk by James.
Just Mr. Reliable again here today, Kevin. I mean, they need his points, and he's producing.
This is his 3rd trip to the free throw line in the game. The 76ers making a switch here. Simmons is checked in, and a switcher also for Washington. Brown's checked in. Free throw good, James.
And one difference this have is that when they get to the line, they're converting.
And Wall kicks to Brown. Pass to Hachimura. unloads from 13. That's his 6th field goal today, and that makes him now 6 for 11.
As hot as he's been, it still has to be him who leads the charge and helps turn this game around.
And Embiid throws it down.
All that Embiid needs really is positioning inside. I mean, once he has it, you know he's done.
Down low. And Bryant the bucket on the assist by Wall. Bryant's got 9 points now in just the second half. James against Bryant. The drive by James and the dunk by James.
And those are the kinds of plays that are just killing them right now.
59 seconds left to play here in the third. Wall passes to Mahinmi. Here's Bryant. Makes it off the glass. Bryant's got 11 here in this quarter alone.
Well, it doesn't have to break stride at all, thanks to the money lead pass.
Here's James. They get the rebound. Washington's gone into a slump here from three-point range. Shoot. Free throw. Good. Burks. And Burks hits 2 free throws. Now, here's Napier. So it's Philadelphia winning this one.
Put in a supreme effort. It just felt like once they had that lead and it was comfortable, they were not going to relinquish.
And that'll do it, folks. For Chris Webber, Greg Anthony, and David Owen, this is Kevin Harlan. Thank you for being with us.
Che, any comment on the rumors you've asked for a trade? Surely you've seen the stories by now.
No, I got no comment on that.
Are you happy here?
Yep. Is that all? Is that it? Is that it? All right. Great. Thank you.
Thanks, Che.